Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. Since last time we finished off the the Duelist Kingdom arc, which is actually halfway through the campaign. And you know, I'm actually officially caught up now. Thought it'd take longer, but yeah. And in this episode, we're actually going to be continuing on with the series, starting with the Mystery Duelist. But before that, I'm actually gonna briefly go over, like, you know, the deck series. So I believe in the last part I went over, like, the card shop. Well, when I get to the Duelist Challenge, I'm going to elaborate more on the decks that I'm going to be making. But as of right now, just know that I intend on just, you know, doing it immediately after I'm done the campaign. I'm probably going to need to grind for currency to make the decks that I want. And one deck that I really want to make, hopefully I can make, like, I want to make a Karibo deck first off, but another deck I want to make is an archetype known as Arcania Joker, which is mainly based around the Egyptian, in a certain Egyptian god. I'm not going to say what it is right now, since it's going to be, you know, shown later on in the game, but geez, I actually really want to make this deck. But the thing is, I don't know if the support cards exist at this time. Maybe in a future Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, I'm going to show it off more, and at least in Master Duel, I'm going to be showing it off more. But as of right now, I don't know if I can make it. I'm at least making Karibo, like, that's a for sure thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say on that, to be as vague as possible. So anyway, yeah, let's continue on with the Mystery Duelist. Despite defeating Pegasus in the Duelist Kingdom tournament, Yugi noticed that the spirit inside the Millennium Puzzle was worried about their uncertain future. The Millennium Puzzle connects us, Yugi, and I sense that fate has more in store for us. And we're in this together no matter what. Yeah, so basically what you need to know is that Yugi Moto and Yami Yugi here, they're two different characters. And throughout most of the series, it's actually not Yugi dueling, it's the spirit inside of Yugi's Millennium Puzzle who's dueling. So, yeah, and that's gonna be, like, more interesting when we actually get to the deck challenges. In fact, you'll actually see that, like, it was Yami Yugi, and then, like, there was a silhouette of Yami Yugi, and then there was a silhouette of Yugi at the beginning during the tutorial. And, yeah, so that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Anyway, let's continue on. Okay, so good. I wish to know more, but our future is unclear to me. I almost said us. I'm a terrible reader. I'll help you figure it out. Later that day, Yugi and Taya came across a fortune teller that offered to tell Yugi his future. Yugi welcomed the opportunity. What are you doing, Yugi? Taya, maybe this fortune teller can help me figure out the fate of the spirit inside the puzzle. The fortune teller asked for a personal item, which he could tell the future. He indicated the Millennium Puzzle would be perfect, so Yugi reluctantly handed it over. Yugi realized it was a ruse that when the fortune teller with the Millennium Puzzle, leaving a trail of arrows for Yugi to follow. It was a trap, and Yugi had no choice. When Yugi tracked down the thief, he discovered that the fortune teller was none other than Bandit Keith, and he found something different about him. Something or someone was speaking through him. What happened to you? I'm not Bandit Keith. I only speak through him, since he's become my mind-controlled slave. Who are you, and what have you done with my Millennium Puzzle? I desire the power your item contains within, but according to the rules of its ancient magic, I have to win it from you in a duel. As for who I am, let's just say that I'm the one who shall control your destiny, as I have controlled others, and that I'm not unfamiliar with the power of a Millennium item. I understand more about their hidden mysteries than you will ever know. Take your Millennium Puzzle, and there are ancient secrets buried within it of which you and even the spirit that inhabits it are unaware. God, I read that terribly. That's why I shall add it to my collection. The Millennium Puzzle was out of reach, so Yugi reached out to it in his mind to try and connect the spirit inside the puzzle. I can barely hear you, Yugi. Our bond is weak. I'm afraid I can't help you in this duel. You have to fight him alone. Alone? But I never fought a duel without you. You can defeat him. Just trust yourself and your deck and you'll find a way. Prepare to lose your precious puzzle. I don't think so. Remember, Yugi, I have seen your future and foretold your fate, and this duel will be your last. It's time to duel. So there's a reason why I mentioned that little tidbit at the beginning. I'm sure you've noticed, but every time Yugi dueled, it said Yami Yugi. Well, now it's just Yugi Moto. So, yeah, this duel, we are doing it without the spirit inside of Yugi's puzzle. And, yeah, Yugi in duel challenges, Yami Yugi and Yugi Moto are two separate duels. So, two separate challenges with their own separate decks. You know, that's why I decided to mention that, and it's interesting. Okay. Alright, so I don't have to activate ancient rules. I don't. And therefore, I'm not going to. As much as I don't like using Horn of the Unicorn, I kind of have to in this context. Just so I can attack over that. And now I have a 2200 beat stick here. Yeah, so as I mentioned, Horn of the Unicorn's an equip spell, so I can equip it to my monster. Let's see, what do you do? Yeah, some of these cards admittedly are never used, so I don't know how to use them. Anyway, when your opponent activates a spell card that targets exactly one monster and no other cards on the field, target another card that would be appropriate. That spell now targets the new target. Okay, and this has to target. There is something that worth note. Notice how it said target. Well, I'm gonna go over more about, like, you know, cards that say target and cards that say don't target in another part, but just know that, you know, if a card says target, then it targets, and if a card doesn't say target but it still targets, then it's a weird ruling, and it's something that I am definitely going to go over. So anyway, I'm going to activate Ancient Rules to special summon Gaia the Fierce Knight, mostly so that I can end this duel more quickly, since if I remember correctly, all of his monsters do not have good defense. Yeah, so yeah, that was a wise play. Yeah, as you can see right here, the duel's over. We're unfortunately still in the sort of rushdown stage of the game. So yeah, that's really, really unfortunate, and there's nothing that you can do. Also, there's something I'd like to point out before I, you know, read this segment. In the anime, in the Duelist Kingdom arc, Yugi had like, you know, wears the puzzle like it's a necklace. In the Duelist Kingdom portion, the portion that basically went around his neck was just like a string or a brown rope or something. Here, however, he decided to connect it with a chain so that it wouldn't be easy to steal. Ironically enough, that chain Ironically enough, that chain ended up being his undoing, since I'm not sure if it's going to show it off, but there was like fire everywhere and Yugi was struggling to get the Millennium Puzzle off of the off of everything. And also there was a big sort of ass pool where, like, you know, Bandit Keith there was using machines, and Yugi was like, there's only one person I know who uses machine monsters, Bandit Keith. But, like, how did he know that? Like, it could not have been Bandit Keith. It just so happened to be him. But anyway, yeah, it's weird. It's just, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Logic at its finest. And, yeah, but, yeah, whatever. Also in part of the anime, the ring was actually, like, thrown away from Bakura to try an attempt to try and get him away from the Millennium Ring. Yeah, for some reason, that Millennium Ring is kind of like a crazy girlfriend who just won't leave you alone and just keeps on just appearing right on Bakura no matter what he tries to do to get rid of it. Like it's attached to him somehow. And it always finds its way. You could honestly put it in solid concrete, but it would still find a way back to Bakura. Fascinating. It appears the shadow magic energies I detect within Yugi's opponent, Bandit Keith, is just a puppet under the control of an evil master. Well, this puppet show is over, for I alone shall possess the Millennium Puzzle. My ring, sever the strings that bind this man, free his mind from the shadow realm. Bakura unseen, Bandit Keith was freed from his mind control, making Bandit Keith's controller wonder what happened. Merrick, this is going to be the main villain of the arc going forward. Personally, I would have liked it if Merrick wasn't shown to be the villain, since, as we'll see later on, you know, drop little hints, but as we can see later on, when he was shown to be the villain, then he was around Taya and Joey, and we're left thinking, oh, well, what the fuck? But then again, you know, doing a twist villain is kind of like Disney levels of lame, so I can see why they didn't do that. It's weird. It's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment, you know? Ah, crap, I didn't read that. Where am I? Yeah. And we unlocked this challenge deck. So, yeah, as I mentioned, after you do every single duel in the campaign with you know, against that character and you beat them, then you will unlock their challenge deck. And, you know, as I mentioned, as you can see right here, I can now duel Yugi. Yugi has his own challenge deck. So, that's basically what happened. And, as I mentioned in a previous part, it's easier to win with the Yugi Joey decks than it is to win with, you know, me playing Bandit Keith versus Yugi. I feel like the decks are made in a way where it's very advantageous towards, you know, Yugi. It's just weird. I personally don't like that fact that I basically am kinda screwed. And, you know, I have a harder time, but I get why they do it, but still, especially since, like, you know, and, you know, use Mirror Force against one monster, why don't you, Yugi? Again, I just get why they do that, to make it easier for the human players to get by, but I still wish that they would have at least made it somewhat easier for the reverse duel player, since I basically have to pray to get lucky. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of that, honestly. So, let's see. Okay. So, I'm going to use Soul Taker to get rid of someone's skull. Soul Taker, as you saw right there, destroys one face-up monster on the field and my opponent gains, 1,000 life points. That seems shitty, and it kind of is, but honestly, considering how it's the only thing I have to work with this early on, at the very least, I can get rid of their more powerful monsters. And, as you can see right there, that was the right decision, since he has poop, basically. Okay, so I'm going to set this card right here. It's because, like, if my opponent decides to attack into it while it's face down, then I can just destroy their monster. I prefer Blast Sphere personally, since it does the same thing, but it does effect damage. But anyway, okay, so I got my plan. I basically just got my wind condition. If he doesn't summon a monster, okay, he's gonna activate Pot of Greed, that's fine. Yeah, I don't like that face down. Speak of the devil, Blast Sphere. Gonna set this face down and just keep attacking, since again I just don't trust that face down. Yep. Yeah, against Yugi, like I think I barely elaborated on this in previous parts, but I feel like the best strategy to beat Yugi, I'm going to attribute this my face down right here, not Blast Sphere. I feel like the best strategy to beat Yugi, and because the AI will do this, the AI is kind of dumb, so you can manipulate the AI into activating, like, for example, their Mirror Force against one really weak monster. And, you know, that's what I did. I'm just gonna keep on the defensive. And another thing too, I just elaborated on this in an earlier episode, but like my monster, Mechanical Chaser, is actually stronger than my level 5 monster right here. I really, really hate the early level 5, level 6 monsters in early Yu-Gi-Oh! The only one that I feel is even slightly useful is honestly Jack's Knight, but that's because it's in the Arcania Knight's archetype. You know what? I'm not gonna risk anything. I'm just gonna allow Summon Skull to attack. Blast Sphere is going to equip. Well, it's still better that I didn't attack there. Let's see. Okay, I got another Blast Sphere. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set Cyber Jar. Like, I know that I could probably go for game right here, but I'm still mildly worried about his face down. Okay, so Mammoth Graveyard is going to get special summoned. Celtic Guardian is going to get special summoned. The guy of the Fierce Knight won't get special summoned. And Swords of the Revealing Light. Okay, so he has 2 special summon monsters with this effect. Oh, and he draws them. So Solemn Judgment, Zara Ritual, Curse of the Fiend, Mechanical Chaser, and Machine Conversion Factory. I'm going to summon this, possibly even bait out Swords of Revealing Light, Polymerization. Let's see. Then again, I'm pretty sure that if he had anything face down, he would have already used it. Honestly, I'm trying to think of what he would have face down. Okay, so, gonna draw my card. Let's see. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to set Solemn Judgment. I'm also going to set Blast Sphere. Then I'm going to activate Tribute from the Doomed, send my Zara Ritual from my deck to the graveyard, and destroy his Gaia the Dragon Champion. You know what? That's fair. Okay, so instead, I'm going to equip Machine Conversion Factory. Okay, I think that playing too cautious ended up being my downfall here, unfortunately. Then I'm going to attack my own monster. I think I should have just gone for game whenever I could. No. No. Oh geez, I lost here. Damn, I lost here. Wait. Yeah, Solemn Judgment. Now, as long as he doesn't draw into another monster. Let's see. Shit. Yeah, I lost. Should have just gone for game when I had the chance. Yeah, that was definitely just me being dumb there. Also, I just realized that I clicked the story deck. Be right back. But anyway, yeah, I definitely misplayed, like, in the last game there. Like, that was easily a misplay on my part. Hey, what can you do, though? Okay, so going to set a card. Then I'm going to set another card here. I'm not going to activate Tribute from the Tribute to the Doomed, because that could very well be Fairy's Mirror, or Fiend's Mirror, or... Excuse me. Okay, so Blast Sphere's effect is going to activate. And now, during his next standby phase, he is going to take heavy damage. So, I'm actually going to be setting Cyberjar here. And, let's see. Then I'm just going to end my turn and allow his Curse of Dragon to be destroyed. Okay. Actually, thinking about it now, I probably... Well, he now has a Fiend's Hand Mirror. And he got Dark Magician in his hand. Komori Dragon. Swords of Revealing Light. Lovely. And Mystical Elf. Okay. Okay, nice that I got Soul Taker at least. So, I'm going to choose to special summon all 4 of my monsters. Yada Robo, both of my Yada Robos, I'm going to, like, set, whereas my ground attacker Bugroth, I'm going to, special summon in attack mode, as well as my mechanical chaser. Okay, now, yeah, that's what I figured. So, okay, so, should I go a raw Allure of Darkness here? I know I have a dark type in my hand, but I actually want to keep that. Let's see. Unfortunately, this only targets a monster, so it's not really useful. I'm gonna go raw Allure of Darkness. Okay, good. So, I'm going to set this card right here. And yeah, that's unfortunately all I can do for right now. Okay, there's his Dark Magician. This is gonna hurt. Okay, so I'm going to activate Tribute to the Doomed here. Discard Curse of Fiend and target his Dark Magician. Okay, Fiend's Hand Mirror, but I'm going to counter that with 7 Tools of the Bandit. Now, I think that this is an appropriate time to go over spell speed. As you can see right here, it says spell speed 1. This says spell speed 2, and this says spell speed 3. Basically, what that means is how fast the effect is. The higher the number, the higher the... basically, the higher it can't be countered is what I should is basically layman's terms. So counter traps are usually the highest spell speed, meaning that they can only be countered by other counter traps. This right here can only be countered by a quick play spell or another trap card. Whereas this right here is, you know, it has to be played, so yeah. But the only thing you need to know is that, like, the higher the spell speed, that's what you need to play to counter it. If that makes any sense. Like, I still don't fully get this mechanic myself, but the only thing I know is that, like, counter traps can only be countered by other counter traps. Quick play spells are spell speed 2 along with regular trap cards. And unless a monster effect specifically says it, it's spell speed 1 along with normal spell cards. That's, I guess, the best way I can explain it. Again, this mechanic I still don't fully get myself. I'm definitely going to do a bit more research on it and explain it. And explain it better in a future part. So, I don't think that anything in Yugi's deck, aside from I want to say, like, no, none of Yugi's normal monsters should be able to, so I think I'm safe. And just to be safe, I'm going to sacrifice Ground Attacker Bugroth, and I'm going to summon Machine King. Machine King gains 100 attack points for each machine monster on the field. And, you know, the machine monsters have to be face up. The only monster that I'd be... Okay, that is a Mirror Force. That is a Mirror Force. Let's see. Okay, that's gonna deal damage to me. That's gonna destroy. Okay, maybe it wasn't a mirror force because the AI would have activated it. Well... let's see. Let's see what kind of shenanigans I can do. So... I'm going to flip up Mammoth Graveyard. And I'm also going to flip up Yada Robo. Then I'm going to use Zarzora Ritual. And let's see, does it have to be an okay, it can be 8 or higher, but I still didn't want, but, you know, I still only wanted to get rid of 2 monsters for this. So yeah, Zara the Mant. Then I'm going to set this card. As a kid, I used to think that this card was so powerful and so intimidating, but in actuality, it's kind of bad. So, just gonna attack, then attack again. So let's see, I'm in a good position right now. I have 2 cards that can destroy. And let's see. And let's do some math here, but... yeah, I win the game. There we go. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm amazing. Okay, so... yeah, I feel like I didn't explain the whole mechanic on spell speed as good as I could. I feel like there's definitely more to that mechanic than I was basically explaining, but that's basically from my understanding of it. In case I got everything completely wrong, I'm also going to like put a little thing about a little message about spell speed in the description below, just so that you can get a better understanding of it from my explanation. I know that this is a Let's Play, and I should know this stuff and research it before I do, but, I feel like certain mechanics I don't fully understand myself, and I should have researched it better, and I actually did research like spell speed, but I still don't fully understand it myself, admittedly. The only thing that I know is that like certain effects can't be activated when it's up to a certain spell speed. And like for instance, normal spells and monster effects are considered to be spell speed 1. And then when a quick play spell or a trap gets activated, that's considered to be spell speed 2. And then counter spells are spell speed 3. It's kind of a mess, honestly. And but yeah, that's just from my quick little understanding of it. But anyway, we're going to continue on with Battle City Begins. Now, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'll explain more when we get into it. Yugi was disturbed that there was now an unknown foe attempting to take his Millennium Puzzle. He felt unprepared. He didn't know enough about the puzzle to understand what dangers he now would have to face. How's it going, Yugi? Not so great. I need your help, and so does the spirit of the Millennium Puzzle. Whoever it was that stole the puzzle seemed to know a lot about its past. That reminded me the spirit. That reminded the spirit how little he knows about it. But hanging out with you might help him figure things out. Yeah, as of this point in the series, the spirit of the Millennium Puzzle doesn't even know his true name. I'm not sure when he figures it out. I just know that at this time there are a lot of things that are really, really fuzzy in his mind. And, you know. It's basically like he's suffering amnesia. Sure, but how exactly am I going to do that? You always have great advice. Just talk to him. The spirit and Taya spent the day together. They went to Domino Museum, which had just opened their Egyptian exhibit. They saw an ancient stone carved that depicted a battle between a sorcerer and a pharaoh. The pharaoh bore a striking resemblance to Yugi, while the sorcerer looked just like Kaiba. As they stood in awe of their discovery, a mysterious woman walked up to greet them. "My pharaoh, I've been expecting you." "Huh? Who are you?" "I am Ishtar of the Egypt. Yeah, I am damn it, I can't read. I am Ishizu of the Egyptian History Society. I have uncovered many mysteries about you and these ancient carvings using the magic of my Millennium Necklace." "Another Millennium item? Like your Millennium Puzzle, this necklace offers me certain powers. With it, I have gazed 5,000 years into the past to a time where evil sorcerers threatened to destroy the entire world. However, there was one king who possessed a magic powerful enough to stop this evil threat. The pharaoh who saved the world was you, and now the time has come for you to rescue mankind once again." "To rescue mankind from what? How do you know the world is in danger of being destroyed again?" "My Millennium Necklace shows me visions of the future, my pharaoh. The events of the past will occur once again, and the same great evil will return to threaten us." "How will I recognize this evil?" "I know that your memory has faded and you seek many answers. I also know a Duel Monsters tournament is beginning. If you win it, you will find your answers." The tournament that Ishizu was referring to was Seto Kaiba's Battle City tournament. Yugi and Joey both received invitations to participate. All entrants were given a special transparent card known as a locator card. The winner of each duel was allowed to take both a locator card and a rare card from the loser. If the loser lost all his locator cards, he was eliminated from the tournament. Only those who collected all 6 locator cards would find the location of the tournament finals. The tournament attracted a group of duelists known as the Rare Hunters. These evil duelists were thieves intent on stealing the most powerful rare cards. Joey lost his Red Eyes Black Dragon to a rare hunter named Seeker. Hoping to win his card back, Joey challenged him to a rematch. "You got my Red Eyes and I want it back, so it's time to duel." "I have no desire to duel you. I have already relieved you of your rare Red Eyes. My hunt for your deck is over." "Well, that's too bad. I'm not leaving until I win back my Red Eyes." "Joey, what's going on?" "Yugi Moto. He has the item my master desires. This guy owes me a rematch so I can win back my Red Eyes. I already told you have nothing that's of use to me." "But perhaps your friend would be interested in being my next victim." "It would be my pleasure to hunt the Duelist Kingdom champion and snare his dark magician, so I challenge Yugi Moto to a duel." "Fine, Rare Hunter, I accept your challenge. It's the only way to win back your card, Joey." Yeah, so this duel right here, while it would have been nice to see a Seeker versus Joey duel, this is a case where I can understand why they didn't do it. It's because, like, personally, I feel like Joey's deck isn't well enough equipped to handle Seeker in a reverse duel, and I feel like Seeker's deck is really, like, just boring to play. And really, having 2 duels for a character who's really, really minor, it just wouldn't make sense. So, Seeker's deck. As you can see right there, he revealed 2 left legs of the Forbidden One. He is going to try and get 2 Forbidden One cards. Or he's going to try and summon Exodia the Forbidden One, I should say. The problem being is that he basically runs 3 of every single Forbidden One card. So even though he will get 5 pieces of Exodia, they need to be 5 different pieces of Exodia for him to win the duel. So yeah, that's just a little tidbit. This is going to be a bit harder though. Well, Chain Destruction will make it so that it's possible. But my plan right now is to try and make him, like, you know, just... I'm gonna try and make him summon an Exodia piece before he can summon. Well, like right there. Chain Destruction is unfortunately kind of a bad card, and yeah, he's gonna be using a lot of stall in this duel. So, let's see. Yeah, and unfortunately this doesn't count as a summon. No. Yeah, the unfortunate reality is that, like, you know, flip summons, like, he has to physically flip summon it for it to count as a flip summon, you know? But because I made him, like, you know, force it up, then it doesn't count. So yeah, that's why I can activate Chain Destruction there. I'm going to activate the effect of Baphomet so that I can get Gazelle to my hand. Now, I could activate Polymerization here, but I'm going to save it for later. Ah, well. Alright, so. That's going to end. Going to normal summon this. No. Now I'm going to activate Polymerization. But yeah, it would have been really nice to get Dust to Tornado last turn. Just saying, game. Okay, Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast. Now, I'm going to summon it to my extra card zone. I'm not sure if I explained it here, but the extra card zone is where you can special summon a monster from your extra deck, not just you know, Link monsters, which haven't been revealed yet, but yeah. So basically, you can have 1 monster from your extra deck plus 5 other monsters. But again, you can only use this extra card zone using monsters from your extra deck. Now, I'm in a bad position here. Thankfully, I can activate Dust Tornado. Okay, and unfortunately, I can't normal summon. Yeah, so it's probably a good idea I destroyed that, but I need to, let's see. Yeah. So I am going to have to just, you know, do this. Unfortunately, with him summoning the Red Eyes Black Dragon, I'm gonna be having some trouble. Let's see, so normal summoned or flip summoned. So it doesn't work on a special summon, unfortunately. Yeah. I would honestly rather, you know... Okay, he's gonna get Pot of Greed to his hand. Yeah, so his deck has a lot of draw power involved. I'm not going to activate that. I'm actually... It's because, like, I want him to summon an Exodia piece so that I can activate Chain of Destruction. Because if I can get Chain Destruction in my... If I can just activate Chain Destruction, his win condition will be gone. Well, his main win condition, I just have to focus on just keep attacking him. Unfortunately, with him summoning that Red Eyes, it really, really screwed me over. Yeah. I think this is worth it. Personally, I would rather take battle damage, because at least I have Karibo in my hand, because I can just summon something to get over it. There we go. Chain Destruction. Now let's see. Would have been nice to get that earlier game, just saying. Yeah, so now he's just gonna do damage to me. Game, please don't make me lose. Light Force Sword. One random card in his hand will become face down, banished face down. Well, thanks for 1,000 life points at least. Thanks, I hate it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not worried about his monsters. Like, I'm really, really not. Most of his monsters, honestly, just, Most of his monsters only have, like, less than 1,000 attack. What I'm more worried about is Gazelle. If I can summon a monster that can go over Gazelle, or at least tank the hit, then I should be fine. Since there's a very real possibility that he'll just mill himself out. Am I going to lose to this? Am I seriously going to lose to this? Oh my god, I might lose to this. Oh my god. Oh my god. I lost to this god-awful deck. Even... Thanks, game. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Ended the recording prematurely. I was... Jesus, man. Yes, I know, game, but I kind of couldn't there because I bricked hard because you just... I wanted to kind of at least do the main duel, but I'm actually just really, really mad right now that I lost to that god-awful deck, so I'm just gonna end it here. I'm just gonna end this part here for now, so yeah, next time on Let's Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, I am going to kick this guy's ass, and I am gonna then yeet the game out the window for making me lose to that god-awful deck. Fuck, that brick was bad. See you guys then.